Achieved with CryEngine 3.
G'day guys, this is the Staff Sarge, bringing you a little thing about the MechWarrior Online game. Considering that it's now an open beta and I'm allowed to actually talk about stuff, yeah, I just figured it'd be an idea to show the newbies around, because to put simply, PGI haven't really been helping with getting newbies into this game. I mean, yeah, sure, promoting and all that kind of stuff is picking up, but there's no real tutorials, so it's a little bit hard. I've had a couple of mates who I've been lancing up with who have just been like, oh, what do I do? I don't understand. That's bad conveyance. So here's what you do. So you log in with your account, you're on the main screen, you ignore this bit, you go straight to the mech lab. Now if you start off and you're free to play, I'm a fan, which is why I got those trial mechs. Not trial mechs. Trial mechs is what you do with your if you're free to play. And it's 4 mechs that are picked out randomly, I believe, every time they patch the game. I think they swap them out. I'm not too sure on that. I've only really seen one trade out since it's been open beta, but I think there's only really been one patch. So the trial mechs generally is one of each class. So you got a commander for the light, cicada for medium, catapult for heavy, atlas for assault. Quite frankly, if you're watching this video and they haven't changed this lineup, the catapult is probably the best, followed very closely by the atlas. I say that because of the fact that the atlas, while it does have a lot of weaponry as you can see on it, it has what's called an XL engine. Now I'll go into this more detail, but basically that means if you destroy, it takes less to actually kill the mech, and that's a bad thing. So while it is more powerful and better armored, it's actually a bit more fragile compared to other atlases, and because you're fighting an atlas, you get paired up with another atlas which may be actually equipped well, and then that goes all badly. So let's start off with, first of all, you want to go into options and just the controls. If you've got a joystick, you may want to have a look into either unplugging it or just trying to remove the controls. I can't remember how to actually remove them is the problem. Somebody can check that out, because it defaults to the joystick controls, and frankly mouse and keyboard is what you want to do. Yeah, there's nothing really specific. I mean, just play around with things. It's a CryEngine 3 game, so it will require a lot of resources. If you don't have that, then you may want to turn it right the hell down. And then we got the social aspect. I have an invite. Somebody's invited me to a game. Why are they doing that? Or just because he saw me online. Yeah, so the social aspect, this is really important. I'll get into details later on, but let's just assume you're a new guy just coming in. What do you want to do? Well, you want to take the biggest mech that's possible, and then you want to just hit launch. I mean, that's really it. If you want to get into a game, that is literally all you need to do. And then it will chuck you into a random game with a bunch of randoms. Maybe. I say maybe because that social aspect allows you to lance up. It allows you to get into a group of 4. It used to be 8, now it's down to 4. There's some changes coming in the future. You can check all that stuff on like the Something Awful thread and MechWarrior Online, etc., etc. So you get 3 buddies, you go into a lance of 4, and then you get matched up with, ideally, with other lances of 4. But at the moment, generally what happens is it's your lance of 4, maybe a lance of 4 on the other team, and a whole bunch of randoms. So I'm just going to assume that I'm with randoms here. And now begins the waiting game. We're on, this is city, and I don't have any actual control, so I'm going to say push right. It's a good idea to take control. So we got someone in a board atlas, which is all good. Okay, so here's the controls for you newbies, because again, it's not really spelled out. Now it uses World of Tank style controls, which are WASD is drive the mech, and then you look around, that's where you aim. So first of all, driving, W to increase throttle, S to decrease throttle. You don't have to hold it down. You just need to, you just push it up. I'm not touching anything at the moment. So you don't need to hold anything down. X will make you do a crash stop, which I won't demonstrate. Looking around, your mouse controls where that circle goes, and that circle represents where your arms are pointed. At the moment I got a pair of ER lasers, which again I won't demonstrate because they generated a lot of heat. Heat management is down the bottom to the right of the map, the 4%, that's how much heat I'm generating. When you hit 100, your mech shuts down. Oh, another one that's really important is Q. This doesn't really get explained, but you want to hold down Q so you can actually see what your allies are. In addition, it helps with target calling, because as you can see there's a mech over there, and that's Mech Alpha. So this often comes in real damn handy. So There's another mech, an Atlas D, which I can actually engage. So, weapon controls. It's the numbers above the... Okay, that's that one. I haven't driven the Founders Atlas at all because I got my own. Oh, that's generating a lot of heat. It's doing a lot of damage though. So, left mouse button fires whichever weapon group is selected. As you can see in the bottom right, it's weapon group 1. It's generally a good idea to leave it set up like that. Okay, he's gone. Hey, look, it's a baby! I missed. Shit. I think I missed again. Oh god, he is fucking up my rear armor. I should probably stop focus firing on this commando, but shit. And that's me overheating. There is a shutdown override, but I can never remember to hit it, and it's set to 0 by default, and there goes my retreating torso. That was entertaining. At least I get to watch my allies. So yes, weapon groups. This is extremely important, and again, it's not well explained by the game. You use your arrow keys to select a weapon group. So up and down to select a weapon itself, left and right to select the group. You press right control in order to select and deselect from a group. So ultimately what you want to have is weapon group 1, which when you're finished with all of it, make sure you put the weapon group to 1. So the left mouse button is firing your weapon group 1. That's the weapon you'll use most often. Weapon group 2, which is always bound to your right mouse button, is what weapons you either that you use occasionally that you want to have ready, or if you're packing like a lot of lasers, just separate 2 groups of lasers, one to group 1, one group 2. That way you can split up your fire and not overheat. And then the rest is ideally for weapons that you don't use all that often. Like I generally just have 3 weapon groups. Weapon group 3 is often missiles, either ideally LRMs, but occasionally if I've got a lot of lasers and SRMs, then yeah, SRMs go in that group too. And shit, if we lose this will be embarrassing. I mean, we wrecked their shit earlier. The goal of the game is, it's 8 mechs, so 2 lancers, and you either kill everyone or you capture their base. You just sit in the base and you capture it. So again, it's just like water tanks. What else can I cover in controls? Targeting, this is another one that people got confused by. Targeting is done by pressing R. Now when I say confuse, I mean it doesn't explain it at all, because again, no tutorial stuff. On top of that, a lot of the blogs that I was meching with, they would assume that you'd lock up the first target and you had to wait until that target dies to acquire a new lock. And that was obviously fucking them over rather quickly. So again, that's an important thing to keep in mind. Shit, we are going to lose this. And this is why you lance up so you don't play with pubbies. Admittedly, these guys were good. I'm not... I mean, if you're one of these players and you're seeing yourself in here on our team, and even on the enemy team, you did okay. We had a plan, we stayed in formation, and they potentially played better than us. We lose this. This is all live, by the way, so yeah, it's turning into a goddamn train wreck already. I've just realized this is a Raven packing a pair of AC2s. Why? Why? Just why? Indeed. Why would just... There are certain weapons that are just terrible. There are certain mechs that are just terrible. A lot of the trial mechs, the default loadouts, which are, I believe, exactly how they are in BattleTech, like the tabletop game. Yeah, those loadouts are pretty terrible, generally. Do they work in the tabletop any better? Some of them do. Not all of them. I mean, most of them tend to go for a little bit of flexibility and a little bit of gimmicking. It's very rare for the common tactic, which is can I change? There we go. Which is boating, which is where you load up a mech with just one type of weapon. I can't really... Oh, this Hunchback kind of. I mean, it's got 4 medium lasers and 2 streak SRFs. If you look at the top right, which you can't anymore, when it comes up with the enemy information like that, I'm gonna find someone who's targeting someone. So bottom right is what your weapon equipment is, and top right is what the enemy stuff is, and yeah, we've lost this. They're gonna cap the base. 6v6. Are we a man short? Or was he AFK? Yeah, damn pansy. Animate only 97,000. Well, yeah, for a loss, even with premium, I guess that's kind of good. Goddamn puppies. This is why you play in groups. So again, that's how you got to start off. Now, the thing is, in order to actually get a mech that earns you money and also experience, that's the other thing. You only earn money with trial mechs. When you get owned mechs, like these babies here, you also get experience. What you do with experience is you upgrade your mech trees like this. I can't get elite because you actually need to level up all of the mech chassis of that type, and then you get elite. In addition to that, when you actually have your own mech, you start earning global XP, which is used for the parlotry stuff, which I haven't unlocked any of this. I've played it a fair bit, but not enough to get enough global XP for that, because working. So I'll give you a quick run through the mech lab, and to do that I'm going to need to buy a new mech. Now I've got almost 4 million C-bills, which is quite a bit. And with that I could potentially buy a basic hunchback, which I've already got. Can I buy a P? I could buy a P hunchback. This is one of the more popular ones because you can load up with a ton of lasers. 8 medium lasers by default. It's fantastic. I mean, if you tweak it up a little bit, maybe a few more heat sinks so you're not overheating all the time, 8 medium lasers is real damn deadly. And I can't really afford any others. I mean, you look at something like the K, which is that trial atlas that I was running. That's 14 million almost, because it has an XL engine. XL engines cost a hell of a lot. So what I'm going to do with this dosh is I'm going to buy Commando, as soon as I figure out which one. So the way it works, you got a whole bunch of mechs to choose from, and you got different chassis for each mech type, as you can see here. Now the difference between them is not only what they come with standard, the big thing is the hard points. So you can see the Bravo, 3 NG, 1 missile, 2 and 2, 3 and 1, and 2 and 2. What's the difference between those two? Nothing, actually. Actually, it might be that there's a missile point on that arm and there's a laser point on that arm. So it's not only how many hard points, it's where the hard point's located. So I'm going to go with a 1 Bravo. Buy with C-bills. Yes, don't want to fall in that trap. I bought one that, let's see. Let's go Inferno. I can't, damn it. There we go, let's see my very bad leet speak stuff. Wait for it to load. So my brand new Commando, and I can immediately sell it off, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go to the loadout. Now the loadout system works just like if you've played MechWarrior 2 or 3, or even Battletech itself, you'll recognize how this works. So you've got two things, you've got tonnage and then you've got critical space. Now tonnage is very simple, it's just how many tons of crap you can throw on there. I'm going to put heat sinks in the legs. It's generally what you use the legs for. Now critical spots, for example, there's so many critical spots and equipment takes up so many, so like 1, 2, 3 for an ER PPC, and there's fills so many slots, and also the number of tonnage to that. Now if you take fancy stuff like there's what is it? There's XL engines which use up side spots. This is why XL engines are dangerous, because a normal engine just takes up the center hard points. Where did I put that one? Here we go. It just takes up the center torso. So if you want to kill the mech by engine death, you need to destroy the center torso. An XL engine, on the other hand, takes up a couple of criticals in the side torsos, and if the engine is if a torso section is destroyed where an engine is, the mech is dead, which means you can kill it by destroying the side torsos, which are generally not only less armored, but if you're taking heavy fire, you'll often twist your mech to try and distribute the damage, and that often means that your side torsos get completely butt-fucked. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to load up an anti-missile system. You always want to take one of these. I'm going to put the ammunition in the head, because it needs to go somewhere. It's just, this is like designing goddamn Bradley. AMS is really important because it shoots down LRMs, and I think SRMs as well. It won't shoot down all of them. Generally, if someone's shooting LRMs, they're shooting a shitload. But if you have a group of mechs with AMS, then it can not only cut down the damage, but if you get enough of them, it can actually neutralize damage entirely. Now this Commando, I'm thinking, is going to I mean, you probably already guessed from the name, but flamers. And then a little something to actually do some damage. SRM6.